What's up everybody, Kiwami Games here, back at it with another video for you guys. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have Vampire HORUS with some additional friends, because as we all know, Vampires is going to need all the help that it can get to compete. Now in this deck, there are a couple things that we're trying to achieve. The first thing that we're trying to achieve is that we're trying to turbo out Beatrice. And the reason why we're trying to turbo out Beatrice is because with Beatrice, we're going to be able to mill the Necroral Banshee, and then the Banshee is going to allow us to get our zombie world. And then in our opponent's turn, we're going to be able to send the Doom King to the graveyard with the Beatrice. And then the Doom King is going to special summon himself during your opponent's standby phase. And then now you have the Doom King with Zombie World on the field, and that is going to be two good disruptions. Now another thing that you want to do with the HORUS cards is, because they're level 8 and they're able to special summon themselves from the graveyard without any cost, as long as you have the King Sarcophagus on the field. So on turn 1, you're going to be able to turbo out your zombie vampire, and then that can lead you to many different plays. So that's essentially what we're trying to do. So turn 1, hopefully if we open up with the vampire ghost and stuff like that, we're going to go into our Beatrice play. And then if we have any HORUS monsters, then we're going to turbo out our zombie vampires. And then on turn 3, we're going to either go into these strong level 8 XZ monsters with the HORUS cards, because you're able to special summon them each turn as long as you have King Sarcophagus on the field and as long as they are in your graveyard. So that's essentially what we're trying to do. So we're trying to turbo out as much negates and stuff as we can. Now there's one toxic thing that you can kind of do with the Beatrice play that I'm not showcasing in the replays, but I thought I'd mention it if any of you guys want to try it out. So I hope that this doesn't get like Beatrice banned, but a crazy thing that you can do is with Beatrice is that on your turn you can actually send this Mayakashi trap card to the graveyard, and then during your opponent's standby phase, you have to have toggle on. You can send transaction rollback to the graveyard, and then you can activate transaction rollback, copy the Mayakashi trap card, and then what this card does is that neither player can special summon monsters from the hand, deck, or extra deck for the rest of this turn. So only special summons from the graveyard can happen. So this trap card alone right here can shut down so many decks. So it can give you a lot of free wins if you're able to get that off. I'm not running it in this deck, but I thought that I can showcase it if you guys want to do it, because it's really powerful. It's a really powerful setup with your Beatrice play. So that's something that you guys can consider doing. Now here I have a couple of cards. One thing that I was also running was the Uni Zombie, but I was running only one copy of it and I got rid of it because I felt like one copy was not enough. But then if I throw 2 or 3 copies, it's gonna make the deck like too bricky with too much monsters and stuff like that. So ultimately I decided to cut it. Another card that I was playing with was Droplet, and it was great, you know, it's a great going second board breaker, but I cut it because the King Sarcophagus, you need to have discards for this card right here. So that's one reason why I got rid of the Forbidden Droplet. And then for your level 8, I'm running this Scarlight, because as you can see, I'm running a little Red Dragon Archfiend tech cards over here. But for your level 8 target, if you do not want to run the Scarlight, you can run the Axel. So the Axel is going to allow you to go into your Baron the Floor very easy. Or you can run the level 8 Draco Berserker Tenyi, or any other level 8 synchro that you feel like it's really powerful and can benefit the deck. So those are some other cards that I was experimenting with. With going second cards, I was also experimenting with Change of Heart, just so that we can steal our opponent's monsters and then use them as our resources. And yeah, I think those were all the only cards that I was kind of like experimenting with that I ultimately cut from the deck. And then now let's touch on some tech cards that I'm running in this. So one of the tech cards that I'm running is Vision Resonator, and the reason why I threw this card in here is because its effect reads that if a level 5 or higher dark monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then you can only special summon it once per turn, and then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one spell or trap card that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend. So that is going to allow you to search for your Crimson Gaia. And then the Crimson Gaia, when you activate it, is going to allow you to search your Vision Resonator. So ultimately, they're able to search each other. And the reason why the Vision Resonator is great, because it's a level 2 tuner that can special summon itself as long as there's a level 5 or higher dark monster. And in the Vampire package, we run quite a lot of level 5 or higher monsters. Even our HORUS cards right here, this one is a level 8 dark monster. So it's really great to get this card out here as a level 2 tuner. With the HORUS cards, you're able to go into your Baron the Floor, and then with the Vampire cards, you can go into your level 8 plays. So it's a really versatile tech card that I decided to throw in here, and it's been working really well. Another thing, as I mentioned, were the HORUS cards. So the HORUS cards, you know, as I mentioned, are going to allow you to turbo out your zombie vampire. And another thing I decided to experiment with was Raigeki, because there's actually a lot of decks out there that die to Raigeki if they don't have like any Omni negates. Then a lot of cards, like even Rescue Ace, for example, like a Raigeki can kind of wipe them out, and Snake Eyes and stuff like that too. Like a Raigeki can pretty much wipe them out because they don't really have any Omni negates besides if they have like the Borreload, Savage Dragon, or something like that. So I'm experimenting with a lot of going second cards because I feel like the deck maybe might thrive better going second, but in today's meta, like going second is like, you know, really risky unless if you're playing Mekanko or something like that. So another thing is I'm not running Maxi because Maxi is just for chumps, and only third-rate duelists run Maxi. But the only reason why I have one copy is because I'm running Crossout Designator, because the amount of times that I lose to fucking Maxi is like ridiculous, bro. Like this card just needs to get banned or semi-limited. Like I'm really tired of it, bro. Like I lose more to Maxi than Maxi ever wins me games, which really sucks because whenever I have Maxi, it rarely resolves. The opponent always has Ash Blossom or Called by the Grave or whatever, but when they hit me with the Maxi, I never happen to have the Ash Blossom or anything like that. But anyways, another thing I threw in here was Mudora. So Mudora is great because it's going to allow you to shuffle back materials from the graveyard into the deck. So say for example, if with the zombie vampire you end up milling like your vampire trap and your vampire spell cards, then you're able to put them back into the deck and then search them again via the retainer. So that's one reason why I'm running the Mudora. And then also it can be disruption depending on what we're playing up against. Like if you're playing against Snake Eyes or something like that and they're trying to resurrect the Flame Birch, where the Flame Birch is trying to resurrect any Snake Eyes monster, you can just spin them back into the deck. So that's one reason why I'm running the Mudora. And then now here, usually in the Vampire package, when we're running the Beatrice, you usually have the Shadow Vampire and the Vampire's Grace. But I decided to cut those cards because I really wanted to turbo out Beatrice as quickly as I can without having to special summon as many monsters and without having to burn my life points to a crisp. So I found a way to get Beatrice much quicker, and that's using Scarlet Scourge, Red Baron, and the Vampire's Desire. So the way that it works is that, say for example, if you have either of these monsters in your hand or in the field, then with the retainer you can search out your Vampire's Desire, and then with the Vampire's Desire you're going to target one of your vampire monsters. It can be like the retainer, for example, and then you're going to send either one of these to the graveyard. So now the vampire retainer is going to become a level 6. So now you can use the vampire retainer and any of these two monsters on the field, and that's going to get you your Beatrice. And that's a much quicker way of going into Beatrice instead of having to go through Shadow Vampire, through Vampire Graves, and through Scarlet Scourge, and through all of that shenanigans. But enough with the talking. I just wanted to kind of explain a couple of things because this is a completely new deck that I'm experimenting with, and it still can be improved on. I feel like I might make a part 2 to this video because I do think I'm going to alter the deck a little bit. I don't think it's quite where I want it to be, but I think I can definitely make something better So without further ado, let's just check out this current deck, and if there's anything that you guys may catch or anything that you feel that can help the deck out, then please let me know down below. I would greatly appreciate it. So without further ado, let's jump right into this replays. Alright my people, so in this replay we are gonna go against Rescuers with some Snake Eyes action. And the reason why I want to showcase this specific duel is because I want to showcase just the potential that the deck has when you're going up against arguably the best deck in the game right now. But just a little spoiler alert, unfortunately I do get my ass kicked in this game, but I just want to showcase just how intense like this duel was and how proud I am of the deck. And this was actually the first duel that I go up against. Like, as soon as I build the deck and I go into rank, automatically I get thrown against like a Rescue Ace and a Snake Eyes deck. But as you can see, he goes full blown. He's got the Turbulence, so he's going to be able to set up his bunch of spells and trap cards. And usually a Rescue Ace deck that's able to resolve Turbulence, it's supposed to be like an automatic loss. But you'll see, man, I was able to at least put up a good fight, even though we get our asses kicked. And then now he's gonna go into an Appaloosa. Alright, so now he's got what, about 3 negates on that Appaloosa. He's gonna activate the emergency. I'm gonna hit it with the Ash Blossom. Alright, but the Appaloosa is gonna negate. Alright, and now I'm gonna hit Call by the Grave. And then he's going to activate Rescue. He's going to try to rescue his Turbulence. And then here I'm going to activate my Forbidden Droplet so that I can negate the Appaloosa. Alright. And then now because the Appaloosa was negated, that means his emergency is also negated. But I just really wanted to negate the Appaloosa so that she doesn't negate my Horus plays. Alright, and then now we got the Harpy's Feather Duster, so we're going to wipe away the back row. Alright, and then now we can start with our Horus card. So we're going to send the Horus card so that we can get our King Sarcophagus. And unfortunately, I drew into a second copy. I was hoping to draw into something else, but what we're going to do. So now we're supposed to summon our Horus cards, and we're going to go into our Zombie Vampire. Okay, then with the Zombie Vampire, we're going to mill. Alright, he's going to activate his Impulse. Impulse is going to be able to special summon this card from the hand. So he special summoned the Preventer. Alright, I milled the Retainer. I milled the Resonator. So with the Retainer, I am going to search for my Omni Negate. And then with the Resonator, I'm going to be able to search my Gaia. So now I'm going to activate the Gaia to bring back the Resonator to my hand. Alright, and then now I'm going to send the Retainer so that I can special summon the Familiar. Familiar is going to search for Void. Alright, then I'm going to pitch. And then honestly, like, the fact that I pitched this King Sarcophagus to the graveyard, this is what's going to kind of cost me the game down the line. And you'll see what I mean down the line. Unfortunately, you know, I it's really hard to foreshadow that, but you know. So now I go into Void so that I can steal 2 monsters from his graveyard, and then I'm going to make my Dampier. And I'm just trying to clear away his board as much as I can. Alright, and then I was going to try to go into a Baron the Floor play, but he flips down my Vision Resonator, so there goes my level 2 tuner. Alright, so now I get rid of his Turbulence, and then now I'm going to special summon back his Turbulence on my side of the field. Alright, now we get rid of his Appaloosa. Alright, and then I'm just trying to fun him, and then now I'm going to go into my SP Little Knight. Alright, and now with the Little Knight, I'm going to banish the Turbulence off of the graveyard. And then I'm not quite sure if that was a smart thing. I don't know if I should have just banished the Preventer, but speaking about Raigeki, how I mentioned Raigeki in my intro, how Raigeki can kill a lot of decks. There he goes. My man has Raigeki, bro. And that, not just that, he also has Dark Ruler No More, bro. Like, when was the last time anyone has ever used this damn card? Like, I forgot all about Dark Ruler No More. And then now he's going to be able to use his original Sinful Spoils so that he can search for his Hydrant. So now the hydrant is going to pop off. He's going to search for the fire engine. Now with these two monsters, he's going to go into the heater. Alright, so now the heater is going to be able to steal a fire monster from my graveyard. But before that, he's going to activate the preventer, allowing himself to special summoning the turbulence from the vanish zone. Okay, then the heater is going to steal my ash. And now with these two monsters, he's going to go into the Promethean Princess. Alright, then the Promethean Princess is going to bring back the heater. Now with these two monsters, he's going to go into the Ambler Whale. Alright, and then he's going to set an emergency. And then the emergency is going to banish itself so that he can set the contain back onto the field. Perfectly balanced. A crazy, crazy deck. Bro, Raigeki and then Dark Ruler no more, man. Alright, so I activate the guy so I can get back my Resonator to my hand. I'm going to normal summon my Uni-Zombie, but he's going to contain it. And then he's going to activate the emergency. So now because Uni-Zombie is contained, I cannot do nothing. I cannot activate its effect. I cannot link it away. I cannot do nothing. Alright, so we bring back our Happy. He's going to trigger the Promethean Princess, pop in the Happy. And then I bring back my Imseti, and now I special summon my Vision Resonator. And then with the Imseti and the Vision Resonator, we're going to go into Baron the Floor. Alright, then I'm going to pop his Ambler Whale. And he's going to be able to bring back the heater. And then here, I don't kill the heater or the... I feel like, I don't know, maybe this was kind of like a misplay on my part. I should have probably... but nah, actually no, because the reason why I popped the Ambler Whale is because the Ambler Whale had an attack boost. So yeah, but I don't kill the Link Monsters, because if I kill the Link Monsters, then the Ambler Whale is going to trigger from the graveyard, and it's going to allow him to special summon like no, he's going to be able to just pretty much get rid of my Baron on the floor. But here I negate the Hydrant. Okay, now the Promethean Princess is going to bring back the Turbulence. Bro, man, it's just these freaking top tier decks, they just have so much gas, and that's what I'm trying to do with this deck. I was thinking about what can I do to give this deck like gas. So there he goes. He's gonna crash into my Baron on the floor so that he can pop a card on the field, and then he goes for my King Sarcophagus. And then this is where I meant when I said that like I pitched my Sarcophagus to the graveyard, and I think this is what causes me the game. Because right now he doesn't have any way of getting rid of my Sarcophagus. If I was to have a second copy right now, I was going to be able to activate the Sarcophagus, and I was going to be able to bring back my HORUS monsters. I mean, he activated Extinguish, but Extinguish, he needs a Rescue A monster in order to activate, and right now he has no Rescue A monsters. And then unfortunately for us, we draw into Ash Blossom. So if I had my King Sarcophagus, the one that I pitched to the graveyard, I would have definitely been able to go into some sort of level 8 XE monster. And I think that ultimately is what cost me this duel right here. The fact that I pitched that King Sarcophagus to the graveyard. But like as I mentioned, there's no way that I was going to be able to foreshadow this moment. So yeah, so now he's going to be able to go into the Access Cold Talker, give himself an attack boost. Now the Access Cold Target is going to become about 5,300 if I remember correctly. Yeah, 5,300, and then that's going to be more than enough to wipe me out. But I really wanted to showcase this duel because I thought it was really great. It was a lot of back and forth. The fact that we were able to go for like about almost 7-8 turns if I am not mistaken with the best deck in the game, and this was my first duel as soon as I made the deck. So I was still trying to experiment. I was still trying to figure things out, my combo lines, what I was trying to do. So it was a really great practice for me as well, but I hope you can kind of see the potential that the deck has, and to know that maybe I can still make it better. So let's just keep on going. Alright my people, in this replay we are going to go up against Pearly. Alright, and then here I'm going to show you what we're trying to do. So first we're going to activate the Mseti by sending itself and the retainer to the graveyard, and then this is going to allow us to search for a second copy of our King Sarcophagus, and then we're also going to be able to draw a card. Alright, and we draw into a familiar. So now we activate the King Sarcophagus, sending the familiar to the graveyard, sending our happy to the graveyard. Now we're going to special summon the retainer, searching for our Omni Negate. And then we're going to special summon the happy, special summon the Mseti, and then we're going to go into our zombie vampire. Okay, so now we activate the zombie vampire, milling 4 from each other's decks. And then we bring back the Scarlet Scourge, activate the Scarlet Scourge, bringing back our familiar. Familiar is going to search for the Red Baron. Alright, and then now we normal summon the Red Baron, and now with the Red Baron and the Scarlet Scourge, we're going to go into our Beatrice. Okay, then the Beatrice is going to send the Banshee to the graveyard. Okay, so now we're going to activate the Banshee and we're going to search for our zombie world. And then now we're going to set Imperm and we're going to set Domination. Now here, make sure it's very important that you have your toggle on. If you don't have your toggle on, you're not going to be able to activate the Beatrice in the draw phase. So in our opponent's draw phase, we're going to activate Beatrice and we're going to set Doom King to the graveyard. And then now in our opponent's standby phase, the Doom King is going to be able to special summon itself onto the field. And then here, I kind of screw it up. I should have used Imperm on the Perlily. So if you're going up against Pearly, this is the card that you really want to hit with Imperm. You don't want to Ash this because it can activate its second effect. So that's why you want to hit it with the Infinite Impermanence, because the Infinite Impermanence is going to negate the first effect, and it's also going to prevent him from using the second effect. So this was a really misplay on my part. Alright, and now he's going to activate the Happy Memory. Okay, so with the Happy Memory, he's going to be able to special summon the Pearly. And now this Pearly is not once per turn. So this Pearly right here, I guess it's okay to hit it with the Ash Blossom, but the best thing to do is maybe get it out of the field. But anyway, so the Pearly, I'm going to just negate it with the Infinite Impermanence. So if anything, I should have done this backwards. Maybe I should have negated the Pearly with the Doom King, and then the Perlily I should have negated with the Infinite Impermanence. So now as you can see, it's going to be able to activate its second effect, but I'm going to banish it with the Doom King. Alright, and then now he's going to special summon his second Perlily, and like as I mentioned, because this card is not once per turn, he can activate it again. But we got our Omni Negate trap card, so I am going to negate and I'm going to destroy that. And then now, because he only has one card in his hand, if this is a Pearly card, he's not going to be able to activate it, because the Pearly cards, they require for the opponent to discard something in order to activate it. But he cannot discard anything because it's the only card that he has in the hand. Okay, then he's going to activate the Pearly Yeep. He's going to put back some cards, but it doesn't matter because, as I mentioned, if he has any Pearly spell cards, he's not going to be able to activate it because he doesn't have any discard fodder. But yeah, this kind of showcased what the deck kind of wants to do going first with the Beatrice play, with setting up your zombie world and with getting Doom King, and then with hopefully having some extra negates in your hand or on the field. But yeah, let's keep it moving. Alright, my people, in this replay we are going to go up against Branded Despia. And I apologize if my voice sounds a little hoarse, man. I was just a little under the weather. It's been raining crazy over here, and that's kind of been messing up with my mood and stuff like that. I was feeling a little stuffy, so apologies for that. But anyway, so he's going to activate the Branded Fusion, but we got the Ash Blossom, but he's got the Call by the Grave. And I got Maxi, and look at that. Maxi actually resolved for me. I swear, bro, like, it never happens, bro. Like, 8 out of 10 times I activate Maxi, my opponent has Call by the Grave or Ash Blossom or something. Alright, so now he's going to go into the Albion. Okay, he's going to activate the Albion, banishing the Lubellion and banishing the Fallen of Albas. So that he can go, no, I'm sorry, he banished the Aluber and he banished the Fallen of Albas so that he can go into the Lubellion. Lubellion is going to activate, but I'm going to actually hit that with the Ghost Mourner because I don't want him to make a Mirror Jade. So we negate the Lubellion, no Mirror Jade for you. Alright, then the Saranir is going to send the return to the graveyard. He's going to set one and pass. Alright, then we're going to send our familiar to the graveyard, searching for our sarcophagus and drawing one card, and we drew into Ghost. So now we can go to our vampire combos. Alright, then the retainer is going to send the Ghost to the graveyard, activate the retainer, search for the desire. Activate the desire, send the Red Baron to the graveyard, make the retainer a level 6. Activate Ghost Graveyard effect so that we can normal summon the Scarlet Scourge. Scarlet Scourge is going to pay 1000 life points, bring back our Red Baron. 2 level 6 monsters, we're going to go into Beatrice. Okay, activate Beatrice, and we're going to send our Banshee. Banshee's going to get us our Zombie World onto the field. Okay, now we're going to activate our sarcophagus so that we can send the Ash Blossom to the graveyard so that we can mill the Happy. Special summon the Imseti, special summon the Happy. Level 8 monsters, we're going to go into the Harbinger. And the reason why I made the Harbinger, because this card right here can negate spell or trap cards, and then his field kept on glowing. And then I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is. I was fearing that it could be like Branded Banishment or something like that. So that's why I go into the Harbinger. Okay, so now we're going to kill his Albion. Then I'm going to set Cross-Out Designator. And this actually turned out to be Branded Beast. Okay, and then with the Albion, he's going to search for the Branded and High Spirits. Okay, now with the Beatrice, we're going to send the Doom King to the graveyard. Special summon the Doom King. Okay, then he's going to activate Regain. I am going to negate the Regain. Alright, and then we're going to suck it up. Okay, then Branded Retribution is going to search for the Branded Fusion, so he's going to be able to make his Branded Fusion plays. Okay, so now with these 2 monsters, he's going to go into the Albion. Alright, and then now the Albion is going to activate, but because it's a zombie, we got Doom King on the field, so with the Doom King, we are going to negate that bad boy. Okay, then he's going to special summon the Kid. Kid is going to search for the Branded in red. Okay, then he's going to activate the Branded in red. Okay, then he's going to search for the Fallen of Albaz. Then he's going to normal summon the Fallen of Albaz. And I am going to activate the Doom King, and I'm going to get rid of that Fallen of Albaz. So that's how you counter the Fallen of Albaz. You need to get rid of it. If you negate it, sometimes he can still fusion summon. So keep that in mind. Alright. And then here I don't activate the Harbinger. So this Harbinger's effect, when opponent monster declares an attack, you can detach one material from this card, and then you can change the attack to this card. So the reason why I didn't activate this again is because I didn't want the Albion to be sent to the graveyard, because if the Albion is sent to the graveyard, then he's going to be able to search for like a Branded spell or trap. So that's why I didn't want to give him that opportunity, even though we could negate it with the Harbinger, but why give Brandon more resources, you know? And then it doesn't matter also because the Doom King is going to come back to me anyways. Alright, and then we're going to further summon the Imseti, and then I'm going to activate the Retainer, and then with all of that I can just continue with my plays. Alright my people, so in this replay we are going to go up against Swordsoul. Alright, and we drew a pretty great hand. So we're going to normal summon the Ghost. We're going to send the Familiar. He's going to hit me with the effect Veiler. Alright. All good in the hood. Okay, now we're going to activate Familiar. Send the Retainer to the graveyard. Special summon the Familiar. Familiar is going to search for our Scarlet Scourge. Okay, then we're going to activate the Retainer. Send the Ghost to the graveyard. Then we're going to activate the Retainer. We're going to search for our Desire. So I'm going to show you how to go into your Beatrice play using Scarlet Scourge and Desire. So now we activate Desire, and we're going to send the Red Baron to the graveyard. So now our Retainer is a level 6 monster. Okay, so now we're gonna banish ghosts from the graveyard so that we can normal summon again. So we normal summon our Scarlet Scourge, activate Scarlet Scourge, pay 1,000 life points to bring back our Red Baron. So now we got 3 level 6 monsters that we can use either or to go into Beatrice. Okay, then we're gonna send the Vision Resonator to the graveyard so that we can search for the King Sarcophagus and draw a card. And then the Vision Resonator, when it's sent to the graveyard, it can search for the Crimson Gaia. And now when we can activate the Crimson Gaia, and then the Crimson Gaia is gonna add back the Vision Resonator to our hand. And now because we have a level 5 or higher Dark Monster, the Vision Resonator can special summon itself onto the field. Okay, but first we're gonna go into our Beatrice play. Okay, so I'm gonna send the Retainer, mill the Banshee. Banshee's gonna get our Zombie World onto the field. And I do all of this because I have my HORUS monsters in a graveyard. I feel like I can make a Zombie Vampire, but I don't want the Zombie Vampire to mill anything that I might need right now. So that's why I'm doing the Beatrice plays now, getting the Zombie World onto the field, just to prevent it from being milled by the Zombie Vampire's effect. Okay, so now we special summon the Vision Resonator. We can special summon the Imseti. And now with these 2 monsters, we're going to go into our Baron de Fleur. Alright, then we're going to send the Ghost to the graveyard so that we can mill the Happy. And then now we're going to special summon the Happy back onto the field. And then with the Happy and the Red Baron, we're going to go into the Vampire Sucker. Alright, and then I'm going to special summon the Veiler so that we can draw a card. And we draw into Void. Also now, because he has a monster in the field, I feel like I'm protected from Imperm or anything like that, because I don't want the Beatrice to be negated. So now in our opponent's draw phase, we're going to activate the Beatrice. And then we're going to mill the Doom King. And now in the standby phase, the Doom King is going to special summon itself onto the field. And now because the monster was special summoned from the graveyard, that's going to trigger the Vampire Sucker to allow me to draw 1 more card. And we draw into our Omni Negate. Okay, so he's going to activate the Moye. Moye is going to try to get a token on the field, but I'm going to negate it with the Doom King. And now Zombie World is a crazy field spell, because Zombie World also is just like disruption for a lot of decks, especially in like Swordsoul. So Swordsoul, a lot of their Swordsoul synchro monsters require for them to use a worm as a tuner. So because Zombie World turns everything into zombies, they're not going to be able to go into any of their Swordsoul synchro monsters, because everything is zombies. He doesn't have any worms, so not much he can do. And then he's gonna scoop. So this is just another example of what the deck is trying to do. Alright, my people, in this replay we are gonna go up against Resonators. We're going up against Chris Kaiba. Okay, so he's gonna activate the Crimson Resonator, special summoning himself, normal summoning the Bone Archfiend, and with these 2 monsters he's gonna go into the Red Rising Dragon. Okay, Red Rising Dragon is going to activate, trying to get back the Resonator onto the field, but we got the Infinite Permanent, so we're going to put a stop to that. Negate. And that's all he wrote. Alright, so we're going to activate our Imseti, sending the Retainer to the graveyard so that we can search our second King Sarcophagus, and so that we can draw a card. Then we're going to send the Red Baron to the graveyard, for just summoning our Retainer. We're going to search for the Omni Negate. Then we're going to activate the Sarcophagus, sending the other Sarcophagus to the graveyard so that we can mill the Happy. Special summon the Happy, special summon the Imseti. Level 8, level 8. We're going to go into our Zombie Vampire. Okay, activate the Zombie Vampire, mill 4. And we're going to special summon Void. Alright, and then we actually milled our Resonator. So our opponent has Nibiru. So here I'm going to show you how I can play right through Nibiru. Okay, so first I'm going to activate Maxi. And look at that, something that never happens. My Maxi actually resolves. Alright, so I'm going to be able to draw 2 off of the Maxi. Alright, and then I haven't normal summoned yet. So now I activate Crimson Gaia. Gaia is going to search for my Resonator, sending it back to my hand. Now I normal summon Ghost, send the Sorcerer to the graveyard, search for Scarlet Scourge, send the Retainer to the graveyard, activate the Familiar, special summon himself and send in the Ghost to the graveyard. activate the familiar, searching for our other copy of the ghost, and we're going to activate sorcerer. And then remember over here guys, whenever you have sorcerer and ghost in the graveyard, activate ghost, and then the game is going to ask you if you want to chain link ghost. Make sure you click no. Do not chain link ghost. Activate ghost graveyard effect manually. Okay, so now we can normal summon a vampire monster without having to pay for tribute. So we normal summon the Scourge. Scourge is now going to pay 1,000 life points to bring back the Red Baron. And then now here with the Red Baron, I can pay 1,000 life points, and then I can switch a vampire monster with an opponent's monster. So now I'm going to give him my familiar, and I'm going to steal his Naturia. Alright, and then now with these two monsters, we're going to go into our Beatrice. So now we can go into our Zombie World line. So we're going to activate the Beatrice. We're going to send the Banshee to the graveyard. Activate the Banshee, getting our Zombie World onto the field. Okay, then we're going to set Call by the Grave, and we're going to set our Vampire Omnigate. And then here, we're going to send the Red Baron to the graveyard, sending the Doom King to the graveyard. Now Doom King can special summon itself. So now we got extra disruptions. Okay, he's going to normal summon the Soul Resonator. I'm going to negate that with the Doom King. Alright, then the Bone Archfiend is going to try to activate, but we got Called by the Grave, so I am going to negate that. And then here, bro, this is like crazy. My opponent actually has none other than, again, Raigeki. I don't know why he didn't activate Raigeki in the first place. Like, he waited for me to negate all of his shit to activate Raigeki. Like, I don't know. I guess he was worried that I have like an Omni Negate or something. But anyways, because Zombie World is on the field, the Doom King can special summon himself back onto the field. And actually, if there's any field spell, it doesn't have to be a Zombie World. As long as there's a field spell on the field, the Doom King can special summon itself. Alright, and then because we have King Sarcophagus on the graveyard, all the HORUS cards can come back. And then yada yada, you already know we have level 8 plays, we have level 10 plays. It's over for the homie. Gentlemen, so in this replay, we are going to go up against Exosisters. Alright, so we're going to start with our Imseti. We're going to send the Modora to the graveyard, searching for our King Sarcophagus and drawing one card. And we're going to activate the King Sarcophagus, sending our other Imseti to the graveyard, sending the Happy to the graveyard. So now we can special summon our 2 level 8 HORUS monsters. Okay, then we're going to go into our Zombie Vampire. Okay, then the Zombie Vampire is going to mill 4 from each other's decks. But he has Infinite Impermanence. And that was a really good Infinite Impermanence because right now I don't have any other plays. So all I can do is just pass turn. Alright, then he's got the Stella, and he actually had the Sophia. So now with the Stella and the Sophia, he's going to go into the Michaelis. Alright, then the Michaelis is going to banish a card from my field, so he banishes my Sarcophagus. Then he's going to try to activate the Martha, but I got the Ash Blossom. And then he's going to activate the Exosister Pax. Not sure what he was trying to do, but he's going to search for another Stella. Alright, and then now he's going to activate the Michaelis, searching for the Returnia. And then that's all he wrote. I feel like he could have done way more of that. Like, I play Exosisters too, and I feel like, I don't know, he seemed like he had a pretty good hand. I don't know. I feel like he could have done way more than that. But anyways, we're going to activate our Zombie Vampire. He has Effect Veiler, so he's going to negate it. Then he's going to activate Returnia. Alright, so with Returnia, he's going to be able to banish my Zombie Vampire. But it doesn't negate, so I can still mill 4. So I special summon my Familiar. Then I search for my Ghost. Now I can normal summon the Ghost, send the Retainer to the graveyard, search for my Sorcerer. Activate the Retainer, send the Sorcerer, special summon the Retainer, search for our Desire. Okay, now with these 2 monsters, we're going to go into our Dark. Okay, then we're going to activate Dark, and we're going to steal his DD Crow. Then I'm going to activate Sorcerer. and I'm gonna activate Ghost, and then now I can normal summon Void. Okay, and then with Void, we're gonna steal 2 of his monsters. So we steal the Effect Veiler and the Ash Blossom, and now with these 2 monsters, we're gonna go into our Dampier. Okay, then we're gonna activate Dampier so that we can get rid of his monster. So now we got a free board. And then just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna activate the Returner, steal his Mikailis, and then now we can smack him for game. And he's gonna scoop before I can even finish smacking him on a round, but alright my people, in this replay we are gonna go up against the new card too, the new deck, Memento. So I actually do not know what this deck is doing. I am completely new to Memento, so I don't know if this imperm was a good imperm, but I just hit it. I'm still uncertain on how to play against this deck or even how to play the deck. But anyway, so he's going to activate Foolish Burial, he's going to send a Goblin to the graveyard, then he's going to activate the Field Spell. And he's going to go into Linkaribo, he's going to set 1. And that's all he wrote. Apparently this deck is not full power, but supposedly it's still actually a really great deck. But I don't know, we'll see. I didn't pull any cards from it, so I don't think I'll be able to build it, but it seems interesting. But anyway, so we drew our vampire card so we can go into our vampire combos. Okay, so with the familiar, we're going to search for our Void. Alright, and then now with these 2 monsters, we're going to go into our sucker. Okay, then I'm going to activate Zombie World, then I'm going to activate Sucker so that I can draw a card. Okay, and we draw into our King Sarcophagus, and then now here I don't activate the Sorcerer, and the reason why I don't activate the Sorcerer is because I have Zombie World on the field and I have Vampire Sucker. So if you don't know, Vampire Sucker says if a zombie monster would be tribute, you can tribute your opponent's zombie monsters instead. So I activate Ghost so that I can normal summon the Void, and instead of tributing my own monsters, I'm going to be able to tribute away his now zombie Linkaribo and now his zombie Memento card. Alright, and then now I can steal 2 of his monsters. Okay, and then use those 2 monsters to go into our Dampier. And I go into Dampier because just this back row, it kept glowing, so I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to get rid of it. And it happens to be a Memento trap card. But apparently he didn't like that, so he's just gonna call it quits. My people, in this replay we are gonna go up against Naturia. And now Naturia HORUS is also like a dope deck. Like this deck is also not to be slept on. And my hand kind of sucks, so all I can do is just set familiar and pass. And he's got Mole Cricket. Mole Cricket is gonna activate, but I have the Ash Blossom, so I'm going to negate that. And then he has Naturia Blessing, so with Blessing he's going to be able to special summon back the Mole Cricket. Oh, actually no, he's going to special summon the Camellia from his hand. So now the Camellia is going to send the Sacred Tree. Sacred Tree is going to be able to search him a Sunflower. And then he's going to set 2 and pass. Well, he's going to smack my Familiar first and then pass. And I actually like Naturia. I play Naturia with Vanessa Live. So I don't know, maybe a Naturia HORUS video I can probably try to make. Alright, so now with the familiar, we can search for our Ghost. Now we normal summon Ghost, send the Scorch to the graveyard, search for Void. Send familiar to the graveyard, he's going to activate Drawing Lockbird. It's all good, I can still play through Drawing Lockbird, no problem. Okay, so we banish the Ghost so that we can normal summon Void. Okay, then Void is going to steal 2 of his monsters. Okay, then we're going to use these 2 monsters and we're going to go into our Dampier. Okay, and with the Dampier, I'm going to get rid of his Stink Bug, because the Stink Bug, if I try to attack, is going to pretty much cancel my battle phase. And then here, thinking about it, I sent the Camellia. I should have sent the Mole Cricket instead, because see, now with the with the Blessing, he's going to be able to special summon the Camellia. And then the Camellia and the Sunflower is a deadly combination because the Sunflower is going to allow him to have 2 monster negates. Okay, so now he's going to mill Camellia. And then he's going to special summon the Mole Cricket. And then here he kind of fucked up. I don't know why he would get rid of the Camellia when he has the Sunflower. Like, that is 2 disruptions. But now because he got rid of the Camellia, trying to go for the Mole Cricket, trying to special summon 2 Naturia monsters, I'm going to be able to negate that with my Void. And unfortunately for him, he has 2 Sacred Trees as back row. And those are bricks. You never want to have those cards in your hand when you're playing Naturia, because you always want to mill them so that you can use them to search for your Naturia cards. But yeah. I still love the deck though. I'm a big Naturia fan. I like it. Alright guys, welcome to the decklist portion of the video. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around with me. I greatly appreciate you watching from beginning to end, as it helps the video. And if you drop the like on the video, thank you so much, as that would also help with the whole algorithm, with the YouTube allowing the video to circulate so that it can reach more people. So if you can hit the like button, if you can hit that subscribe button for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you all so much for rocking with me, and let's just jump right into the deck list. So we have 2 Vampires Familiar, 1 Maxi, we have 2 Vampires Retainer, 1 Vision Resonator, we have 3 Ash Blossoms, 1 Ghost Mourner, then we have 3 Vampire Ghost, 1 Mizuki, 1 Vampire Sorcerer, 1 Necroworld Banshee, 1 Mudora, 1 Vampire Scarlet Scourge, 1 Vampire Red Baron, 1 Doom King Balladrock, and then we also have 1 Vampire Void. We have 3 Imseti Glory of Horus, and then we have 1 Happy Guidance of Horus. Then we got 1 Raigeki, 1 Feather Duster, 1 1-for-1, 1 Vampire's Desire, 1 Triple Tactus Talent. Then we have 1 Zombie World, 1 Crimson Gaia, 3 King Sarcophagus, 2 Called by the Graves, 1 Crossout Designator, 3 Infinite Impermanence, and 1 Vampire's Domination. Okay, and then in our extra deck we have 1 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, we have 1 Baron de Fleur, 1 Beatrice, 1 Dampier Vampire Sheridan, 1 number 23 Lancelot, 1 Hope Harbinger, 1 Dingersel, 1 Zombie Vampire, 1 Vampire Sucker, 1 Dark the Dark Charmer, and we got the new SP Little Knight, 1 Vampire Fascinator, 1 Apollo USA, 1 Yuki Onna, and 1 Underworld Goddess. So yep, that is the deck. I think I can definitely make like a part 2 to this video. I think that I can tweak it, and I think I can make it a little better, but for the most part I just really wanted to showcase the deck, have a conversation with you guys. Let me know what you guys think about it. If you play Zombie Horrors, what are you doing with your deck? I would like to know how you guys are playing it, so let me know down below. Thank you so much for sticking around. Any questions, comments, concerns that you may have, drop it down there. I always respond to you guys. Thank you all so much, and if you could do me that favor, smashing that like button, smashing that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. It will help my channel out so much. So thank you all so much. Continue enjoying a great day. Be safe. Kiwami Games. Peace out.